Good evening. I would like to call the meeting of September 18, 2025, meeting of Forest Park Planning Commission to order. The Planning Commission serves as the recommending body for the mayor and city council. The Planning Commission shall recommend approval with condition or denial of application, being forward to the mayor and city council. All person who wish to address the planning commission shall sign up on a form to be provided by the planning secretary prior to commencement of this hearing. Each speaker shall speak only to the merit of the proposed petition under consideration and shall address his remarks only to the members of the planning commission. The applicants, as well as the opponents for or against the petition, shall have 10 minutes to speak during the public hearing portion of this meeting. Prior to the speaking, the speaker will identify him or herself and state his or her name and current address. Only person who are signed up may speak to the petition being heard. Staff will first present the petition, then I will ask the board member they have any questions. Then I will open the meeting for public comments, at which time the applicant will speak first, followed by additional speakers. Once everybody has spoken, I will then close the comments for discussion and recommendation for the planning commission members. Today we have two items on the agenda. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Asfer Huck is absent. Michael Cleanscales.
Here.
Michael Cleanscales is present. Roderick Jackson.
Here.
Roderick Jackson is present. Donald Williams.
Here.
Donald Williams is present. Lois Wright.
Here.
Lois Wright is present. Vice Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay. We have looked over approval for minutes. And we have, amen, at this time, motion to receive approval of minutes for August 21st, 2025. Motion.
I motion to approve the August 21st, 2025 meeting minutes.
In 1 second. Second. Okay, it has been motion and second. All in agree?
Aye.
Okay. So the approval minutes have been, amen, accepted. Now new business. Turning on. This time case various 2025-13.
Good evening, Vice Chairman and Planning Commission. Today's case is VAR 2025-13, current zoning plan industrial district, Ward 4. Variance request. The proposed request is the variance request to exceed the maximum number of accessory structures permitted on a property and to reduce the required rear yard setback to permit the construction of a new multi-purpose operation and maintenance facility within the planned industrial district. Owner of record is Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, as well as the applicant. Address 5163 and 5265 Old Dixie Highway, Forest Park, Georgia 30297. Parcels is 13077A, A009, and parcel 13077A, A001. Combined total acreage is 31.24 plus or minus acres. Future land uses in industrial. Contiguous zoning classifications. North, south, and west are planned industrial district, and east is light industrial district. Summary and background. The Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, also known as MARTA, has submitted a request for 2 variances to facilitate the development of a new multi-purpose operations and maintenance facility across 2 contiguous parcels located at 5163 and 5265 Old Dixie Highway. Within the planned industrial district in Ward 4, the combined acreage of the site is approximately 31.24 plus or minus acres, and the proposed development represents a significant public infrastructure investment intended to support MARTA's expanding transit operations, electric vehicle fleet, and public safety functions. The development includes several functionality, specialized building and support structures designed to facilitate efficient site circulation, bus maintenance and fueling operations, and future electric bus infrastructure. In total, the project includes 6 buildings and 2 auxiliary structures distributed across 2 parcels. MARTA is requesting the following 2 zoning variances to support the proposed development. 1, variance from rear yard setback requirements. On the parcel 52650 Dixie Highway, MARTA requests relief from the required 30-foot rear yard setback, seeking approval to reduce the setback to approximately 21 feet to allow for the placement of the fueling and service building H and the bus wash facility, which is building E. The reduction is needed to accommodate safe and functional bus circulation patterns across the site, especially given the significant turning radii required for bus movements. This portion of the site directly abuts a 100-foot wide Georgia Power easement, of which MARTA has been granted the use of the 20-foot wide strip for underground utilities and roadway circulation. Though no structures are permitted within the zone, While the variance would permit construction closer to property line, the proposed buildings remain well outside of the Georgia Power easement, and the new setback condition improves upon current configuration, which the existing structure sits only 12 feet from the property line. Variance 2, the variance from accessory structure limitations. City code currently limits the number of accessory structures on a single lot to 3 and restricts their combined size to no more than 50% of the primary structure's finished floor area. On the 52650 Dixie Highway parcel, MARTA proposes primary operations and maintenance building A, along with 5 accessory structures, which include bus wash building, which is building E, industrial wastewater treatment facility, building G, fueling and servicing building H, dumpster area canopy, F, battery electric bus charging infrastructure, J, consisting of at-grade electrical switchgear, generators, and gantry structures. The applicant asserts that the operational complexity of the modern transit facility, including the need for specialized systems, vehicle separation, and efficient internal circulation, is necessary for the construction of more than 3 accessory structures. Furthermore, the layout has been strategically designed to isolate conflicting uses, support sustainable transit infrastructure, and ensure compliance with safety and operational protocols. The adjacent parcels at 5163 Old Dixie Highway contains a MARTA police precinct and compressed natural gas plant, which complies with accessory structure limitations and does not require variance. Notably, while one building straddled the shared lot line between the parcel, no setback variance is required due to the 2023 ordinance amendment allowing a waiver of side setbacks to contiguous properties under this common ownership. Both requested variances highlight the limitations of applying conventional zoning standards to large-scale, mission-critical public infrastructure projects. While the zoning ordinance appropriately limits accessory structures in typical industrial settings to preserve site organization and reduce visual clutter, the proposed development operates more similar to a public utility or essential service node with multiple interdependent functions that require spatial and operational separation. The proposed design supports MARTA's long-term operational efficiency, sustainability initiatives, and public safety presence through the integrated police precinct. The applicant has demonstrated the strict adherence to the accessory structure limit and rear yard setback, which compromises safe bus circulation, site logistics, and core function. The project's unified site plan, shared ownership, and interconnected nature of its uses suggest that these variances, which technically exceeding specific code limits, do not undermine the intent of the zoning ordinance. Instead, the proposed layout appears to enhance site functionality and service delivery. I have provided you all as supporting documentation for this request an aerial map, which shows the site layout as far as its location, as well as a zoning map to provide the zoning of the district. The survey is on page 11. And we also have included a site plan that shows at the bottom of page 12 is the overall site plan as far as where each building and their proposed designation for each building will be located on the site. On page 13, I have provided site photos of it as it is existing. And variance justification, the planning commission may grant a variance for the development standards of this chapter and pertinence under this chapter if after a public hearing, it makes findings in fact in writing. There are 1 through 3 variance justifications. I won't go through each of those items. Staff recommendation. While compiling all this provided information to staff recommends approval with conditions of the variance to exceed maximum number of accessory structures permitted on a property, which will be going from 3 to 5, and to reduce the required rear yard setback from 30 feet to 21 feet to allow the construction of a new multi-purpose operations and maintenance facility within the planned industrial district. Staff finds that the requested variances are justified based on the unique operational requirements of the facility, the public benefit it provides, and its physical characteristics of the site. The proposal meets the intent of the zoning ordinance and does not result in an adverse impact to the surrounding properties. Based upon this information, staff recommends the following conditions to be provided with the request as well. Number 1 would be site compliance. The development shall substantially conform to the site plan submitted within the variance application. Any significant deviations shall require additional review and approval by the planning commission or city staff as applicable. Number 2, accessory structure limit. The variance shall apply only to 52650 Dixie Highway parcel and shall allow for no more than 5 accessory structures. In addition to the primary operations and maintenance building, these structures are limited to the Bush Wash Building, Building E, Industrial Wastewater Treatment Facility G, Fueling and Service Building H, Dumpster Area Canopy Building F, and Battery Electric Bus Charging Infrastructure Building J. 3, rear yard setback reduction. The minimum rear yard setback at 52650 Dixie Highway parcel may be reduced from 30 feet to 21 feet as depicted on the submitted plans. No building or permanent structure shall be encroached into the Georgia Power easement. Number 4, utility coordination. Prior to issuance of any building permits, the applicant shall provide written confirmation of coordination with Georgia Power and any other applicable utility providers to ensure compliance with easement restrictions and site access requirements. Number 5, future subdivision restriction. No subdivision or lot reconfiguration shall occur that results in noncompliance with these variances or creates additional lots that exceed accessory structure limits under Section 8-875. Number 6, permitting compliance. All construction must comply with applicable building codes, stormwater regulations, and permitting requirements. Any future accessory structures not identified in this request will require separate review and approval unless otherwise permitted by right. Number 7, Urban Design Review Board, UDRB approval. Prior to any consideration or approval, the applicant shall submit architectural renderings and material samples for review by city staff. Formal approval from the Urban Design Review Board shall be required for overall site design, including building facade, landscaping, and buffer treatments. No site development or construction permit shall be issued until the UDRB approval has been granted in accordance with applicable city design standards and procedures. Thank you for your time today. That concludes my report.
Um, I'm just curious to ask Marvin, is it going to bring any jobs locally, or is it, or are they going to transfer employees from other Marvin facilities?
Is there anyone here for MARTA? No. Um,
Okay, got my mic. So I know no one from MARTA is here, but I do know that they participated in the job fair from Elevate. So they're doing local job fairs to try to attract local talent. So
So at this time, we open up, but there's no one here for model. Do we have anybody else? Here. But at this time, motion.
I'm motion to approve the MARTA and the setbacks according to the variance.
Second. It's been motion and second for approval with condition. All agree? Aye. All right, no opposed. So again, we receive, amen.
Thank you. All right. The next case is VAR 2025-14, Single Family Residential District, Ward 2. This variance request is to allow a decrease in the minimum required side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet to allow for the construction of an addition to the primary structure within a single family residential district. The owner of record is Patricia Maxwell, 876 Slayton Street, Forest Park, Georgia 30297. Parcel number is 13047D C014. Acreage is 0.248 plus or minus, and future land use is low density residential. The contiguous zoning of properties surrounding north, south, east, and west are all single family residential district. Summary and background. The subject property is a residential parcel located at 876 Slayton Street within Ward 2. It is situated west of College Street and consists of approximately 0.248 plus or minus acres within a single-family residential district. According to Section 8-829, single-family residential district standards, property in the RS zoning district must comply with specific development standards, including a minimum side yard setback of 10 feet. The applicant is seeking a variance to reduce the required side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet in order to accommodate a building addition to the primary residence. Based on the submitted letter of intent, the applicant contends that the requested reduction is necessary to support modest expansion that will improve the livability and functionality of the home for their family. They further assert that the proposed placement supports compliance with fire safety standards, allows for adequate emergency access and utility placement, and aligns with broader community goals related to neighborhood sustainability and housing accessibility. While the applicant's rationale speaks to general design considerations and subjective to livability factors, the variance request must be evaluated in the context of the city-adopted development code and established findings required under Section 8-8193. These findings require that the Planning Commission to determine whether the request represents a practical difficulty not self-imposed, whether it avoids adverse impacts to adjacent properties, and whether approval would not be compromised to the public health and safety and welfare of the surrounding. Staff analysis considers the physical constraints of the lot, the existing development patterns along Slayton Street, and potential precedent that approval of such reduction could establish within the RS zoning district. The proposed encroachment represents a 50% reduction in the required side setback, which is not insignificant in the district design to maintain separation between structures and preserve low density character. Staff recognizes that the lot's configuration, however, staff recommends the lot's configuration combined with the location of existing structure may limit feasibility of expansion elsewhere on the site without triggering similar dimensional restraints. I have provided you all with the aerial map of the location on page 18, the bottom of this page, as well as the zoning map, which provides current zoning as well as surrounding zoning. On page 20, I have provided a site plan for your review, as well as page 21, a survey on page 20, and page 21 is the site plan for your review. On page 22, I have provided some site photos, which shows the existing the property as it existing, and then it also shows some current photos of the property as well. And I'll mention this within the staff recommendation, but there also was a notice by code compliance when they went out that siding of the home had been removed prior to receiving any permits. So we have discussed that information as well in the report. All right, so the variance justification is referenced to section 8-8193 as well. And then our staff recommendation. So staff recommends approval of conditions, approval with conditions of the variance to reduce the required side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet at 876 Layton Street. This request has been evaluated in accordance with section 8-8193 of the Code of Ordinances, and staff finds that with appropriate conditions, the variance can meet the required findings for approval. In order to ensure the variance is implemented in a manner that protects adjacent properties and maintains neighborhood character, staff recommends the following conditions to be applied. 1. Substantial compliance. The proposed addition shall be constructed in substantial compliance with the site plan, elevations, and narratives submitted as part of the variance application. Any significant deviation may require further review and approval by the Planning Commission or staff as appropriate. 2. Maximum encroachment limit. The reduced setback shall apply only to the portion of the structure explicitly identified in the approved site plan. No additional structures or future additions shall be encroached into the remaining side yard setback without further approval or prior approval. 3. Drainage and stormwater control. Any roof runoff or drainage associated with the addition must be managed on-site through appropriate grading and drainage controls to avoid adverse impacts on adjacent properties. 4. Building code and fire safety compliance. All construction shall comply with applicable building codes and fire separation requirements, including minimum clearances for emergency access and utility meter placement, as confirmed by the building department prior to issuance of a building permit. 5. Fence permit compliance. Prior to the issuance of any building permits for the proposed addition, the applicant shall obtain a fence permit for the existing privacy fence on the property as required by the city's zoning ordinance and code compliance regulation. The fence must be reviewed for compliance with all applicable height, location, and material standards. 6. Stop work order resolution, exterior siding. Prior to issuance of the building permit for the proposed addition, the applicant shall resolve the outstanding stop work order issued for the unpermitted exterior siding work. This shall include obtaining the necessary permits, submitting required documentation on or plans, and passing final inspection to confirm code compliance. 7. Landscape screening, if applicable. If the addition includes windows or active living space within close proximity to the property line, the applicant shall provide vegetative screening or other privacy measures to mitigate potential impacts to adjacent residences, subject to review and approval by staff. In conclusion, with these conditions in place, staff concludes that the requested variance can be approved in a manner consistent with the intent of the zoning ordinance, the character of the surrounding area, and the goals of the city's planning and community development department. Approval does not establish a precedent for future requests, which will continue to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis according to the site-specific conditions and applicable findings. This concludes my report.
But I open it up, we have the applicant,
Is the applicant present?
you come state your name and address.
Patricia Maxwell. 876 Slayton Street, Forest Park. Thank you.
Would you like to share?
Yes, the only reason that I wanted to do it is because I'm getting ready to retire. So I wanted to fix the place up before I retire. So I wanted the neighborhood to look good, and I also had people just stop by and say, who happened with this because they encourage other people to try to fix up their property. So when you drive down the street, you can look at the houses and be like, wow, this look nice. So I just wanted to fix it up and, so I have somewhere to retire.
Your thing in order and then you see the condition. Certain, are you able to meet those conditions?
You want to call? This is my contract. Could she say?
Yes.
Okay.
On Slayton Street, or my,
No, straight street.
my address.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Shara Sutton. My address is 351 Hill Street, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia. I am here in representation also for Ms. Patricia Maxwell as her current contractor. And as she stated, this is for improvement for the neighborhood, also to meet the requirements that the city is stating that she needs to meet for the variance. We know that we are asking for a reduction of 50% from 10 to 5. And that is to provide her substantial and comfortable living once retirement has taken place. We will do all the things that is required to meet the standards of City of Forest Park. I know that there were a couple of issues that was unaware of as far as the siding, which we are willing and able to address and make sure those things are provided to the city. You're welcome.
Motion to approve variance 2025-14 with conditions. Second. I second. Right. So it's been motion and second. All agrees? Aye. So it's been with condition. And I think that is it. All right, so motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Y'all in agreement?
All right,
And it's been motion and second.
thank you.